Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, take a second, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. And as always, don't forget to like this video. In today's video, I will be teaching you about the irregular verbs tener and traer and how to correctly conjugate them in Spanish. Don't forget that you can also follow me on Instagram. I will leave a link for you in the description box below. Without further ado, let's begin. The Spanish verbs tener, which means to have, and traer, which means to bring, are considered irregular verbs. Let's go ahead and look at what an irregular verb is. So, these verbs are irregular because it uses more than one stem to form its conjugation. Regular verbs follow the set pattern for their ending. So, in Spanish verbs, the regular pattern would usually end in al, el, ol, or il. Whereas irregular verbs deviate from that standard pattern. And in many cases, the irregularity of that verb happens in the yo form. Let's review the rules to conjugate the irregular verb tener. So again, tener means to have. So with this irregular verb, we would add a G when we are conjugating in the yo form. So for example, we would say yo tengo, and then we add the G. Then the next conjugations are tú tienes, usted, él, ella, tiene, nosotros, nosotras, tenemos, vosotras, vosotros, tenéis, and finally, ustedes, ellos, ellas, tienen. Great job! Other irregular verbs that add a G in the yo form are venir, which means to come, salir, which means to leave or to go out, and poner, which means to put. On this slide, you will see the conjugations for each of these verbs. Feel free to pause the video to jot them down. So with the irregular verb traer, which means to bring, you would insert ing in the yo form. Let's take a look at how you conjugate this verb. So we have yo traigo, I bring, tú traes, you bring, usted, él, ella trae, he, she brings, nosotros, nosotras traemos, we bring, vosotros, vosotras traes, and finally, ustedes, ellos, ellas traen, they bring. Very good. Other irregular verbs like oír, which means to hear, would add a Y in all conjugations except for the yo, nosotros, nosotras, and vosotros, vosotras forms. You will note the correct conjugations of the verb oír in this slide. Feel free to pause this video to jot this down. And irregular verbs like hacer, which means to do, and decir, which means to say or to tell, change the C to G in the yo form. Here are the conjugations for each of these verbs. Again, feel free to jot this down. Also, with the verb decir, you would change the stem vowel E to an I in all forms but nosotros, nosotras, and vosotras forms. Now let's practice using some sentences using the irregular verb tener. Alright, so we have our first one. Tengo un Volkswagen. I have a Volkswagen. And tengo means have. Miguel tiene muchísima sed. Miguel is very thirsty. Sed, thirsty. The next one. Nosotros tenemos que comprar nuevos zapatos. We need to buy new shoes. Zapatos, shoes. The next one. Mis padres tienen muchos libros. My parents have a lot of books. Padres, parents. And finally, no tenemos tiempo para tus excusas. We don't have time for your excuses. Excusas, excuses. Very good. Now let's review some sentences using the irregular verb traer. Okay, so here's our first one. ¿Qué traes a la fiesta? What do you bring to the parties? En traes, you bring. The next one. Traigo mis discos compactos y algo de comer. I bring my CDs and something to eat. En discos compactos, CDs. The next one. Juan trae flores. Juan brings flowers. Flores, flowers. The next one. Nosotros traemos vasos. We bring cups. Vasos, cups. And finally, the last one. Estos son algunos de los regalos que traen con ellos. These are some of the gifts they bring with them. Regalos, gifts. Great job! Now let's review our 10 new learned words from today's lesson. All right, so we have our first one. Tengo, I have. Sed, thirsty. Zapatos, shoes. Padres, parents. Excusas, excuses. Traes, you bring. Discos compactos, CDs. Flores, flowers. Vasos, cups. And the last one, regalos, gifts. Great job! That's all for today's video. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!